Welcome to Ridgecrest Talk. I'm your host, Tonia Pyle, and my guest today is Candy Coffee from CNC Corrals. Or is it stables or corrals?
Training stables.
Training stables.
CNC training stables.
CNC training stables. And I invited her to join us and talk to us about the Kernville Mule and Donkey Days. So thank you so much, Candy, for joining me today.
It's my pleasure.
And so you were a judge for the Kernville Mule and Donkey Days, and how many judges are involved in that?
Just me. I was the
You
only
were
one.
it.
I judged everything.
You're it.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a job.
It was quite the job.
That's
Long days.
that's a 3-day event, right? It was the
Yes.
the 13th or the
11th,
12th.
12th, and 13th.
Oh, the 11th, 12th,
I
and
think
13th.
it was 11th, 12th, and 13th.
But I thought the 13th was Friday. And I
No.
thought you left. Oh, okay.
It was Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
was-
whatever that weekend was. I
Oh,
think it was
okay.
the 11th, 12th, and 13th.
Because I remember running
Yeah.
into you at
Right.
Pack Wrap, and you were
Yes.
getting ready to leave early the next morning.
Right, yeah, that was on a Thursday, and I left early Friday morning, and I judged Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Uh-huh. So what are the events you judge? I mean, it's mules and donkeys, but it looks like, are there horses involved in this?
No,
It's
there's no
mules
horses.
and donkeys.
Just mules and donkeys.
Are they
Correct.
fun?
They're a lot of fun.
Are they?
Yeah, they're great animals, very intelligent, and
Really?
the people who own them love
Love them.
They do. It's
Yes.
a really fun, good group of people.
It reminds me, someone from the BLM was referring me to the Smoke the Donkey. Are you familiar with Smoke the Donkey?
I'm not.
It was a donkey that some of the servicemen fell in love with when they were in, I think, Iraq.
Oh, okay.
And he was like therapeutic.
Oh,
for
absolutely.
them.
I believe
And
that.
So I was kind of marveling at a donkey, and he said, well, Tonya, have you ever seen a baby donkey?
Oh,
'Cause
very cute.
That's
Yes.
what he was saying.
Yeah.
And I have seen baby donkeys, and they're cute. My Uncle Pete used to bring ponies and donkeys and things for us to ride when we went to my grandparents' farm when I was a kid. So
Right.
it was always such a treat to get to do things like that. I didn't grow up on a farm, so this is kind of a new thing, Mule and Donkey Days. So how long has this, it's probably an old tradition in
This was the
Kernville.
10th anniversary. This
Okay.
year was the 10th anniversary.
Okay, not as old
So-
as I would have thought then.
No, relatively new. But 10 years is, that's
Yes.
it's pretty good
Yeah,
tenure.
it's established.
Absolutely.
And so people train their donkeys to do, what kind of events are you judging?
Yeah, well, I judged both the mules and donkeys in anything from driving to reining, working cow mule, jumping.
So to just break this down a little bit, what's reining? What's
So reining is where they do a pattern, and they have to do like 2 big fast circles one direction, and then one slow small, and then change their lead in the
Okay.
middle, and then the slides stop, and they have to spin, and they have to do.
and someone's riding them,
Correct.
doing this.
Yes, this is a mounted event. That's,
Oh, okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought a mule was a donkey.
No, a donkey
Oh my gosh.
and a horse. If you cross a donkey with a horse, you
You
get a mule. That's correct.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. And a donkey is.
Well, it can be a
A
jack,
donkey.
a jack, or a jenny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So-
I see.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. So then, and a lot of them are run in wild packs here.
Right.
With-
We have
with
the
the wild
horse
Mustang.
and burro
Right.
facility here. Correct. And we do have wild animals that are out.
And they bring them in sometimes for
Yeah,
adoption.
That's correct. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We have a large corral out here. There's quite a few. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, yes, I've been there, and all. But now, okay. So you judge the reining, and where else were you going with
Jumping.
this? Okay. Jumping.
Western pleasure, trail. Yeah, we did
Trail. I can imagine what that is.
Obstacles. Walk over the bridge.
Jumping. I can
Jumping
imagine what that
a
is.
whole
But
course.
okay.
Yeah. At Western Pleasure.
Okay, so I kind of saw would you call that a corral or the big
An arena.
field?
It's called
the
an arena.
Okay.
Right.
And I actually tried to print that out, and then it only downloaded the arena instead of the whole
the website.
The whole program that was there. So I thought that would help me a little bit in our conversation. But you're helping me just fine. I do appreciate it.
No problem.
So do you have a favorite event or?
I think I really like the jumping. The hunter jumper stuff is really cool to see them do it. They're very athletic animals.
And I presume they wear the Western style.
Oh yes, they dress in the Western classes. They have Western attire. They can have chaps or chinks and the long sleeve button-up collared shirts with the cowboy hats. And then in the English, they wear the same attire.
Oh, they have the English.
Oh yes, they wear
with
breeches.
the mule and donkey.
Absolutely, yes.
Oh.
Yep. Both the mules and the donkeys. They do. The donkeys are amazing. We probably had 15 donkeys up there that showed, and they do. I mean, the Western Pleasure. They do the trail. They jump. They do the reining. They do everything. Halter. I judged halter, which is judged on their conformation. You know how they're built and how they travel. So yeah, it's a big deal. Yep.
How many items do you judge in an event? How many items do you is it a timing thing? Is it
well,
a
some of the
race?
events are timed because they also did Gymkhana, which is speed events, barrel racing, pole bending. They had a speed barrel class, so that's all on time. And then the other classes are not like Gambler's Choice jumpers and regular jumpers. If they go clean, we call it, they don't knock any fences down. They jump and leave all the jumps up. Then we have what's called the jump off. So there's a shortened course, and then we have a set of cones that when they start through the cones, their time starts. And then they have to go jump that jump off course, which is the shortened course, and then they have to get back through the timing cones. So the one that's if everybody's clean again, the one with the fastest time wins. So.
Okay, we're getting ready to take a break. What are the ages of most people who participate? Any age? Or?
Oh, it's in Bishop they had lead line classes, so any child that was from 5 years old up to Tucker Slender shows, and he's got to be in his 80s now. So
okay.
Yeah, it's
we'll
anybody.
We'll come back and talk more about the Mule and Donkey Days. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Ridgecrest Talk with our guest Candy Coffey from the CNC Stables. And we're talking about the Mule and Donkey Days, the Kernville Mule and Donkey Days. But now, how many people usually go to these events?
Entries were down a little bit this year, I think, because she changed the date. But there were probably 35 exhibitors that were there, maybe a little more than that. So that's not bad for
How do the people viewing? How does that look?
Oh,
the audience.
It kind of varies, So early in the morning, there's not quite as many people, but as the day goes on, and then it's a in and out kind of a thing. So the stands stay, fairly full.
Okay.
Right. It's a kind of a annual event for everybody there, and they have a snack bar. The FFA does the snack bar, and they set up tents over the top of the bleachers, so you have shade, and
oh, that's nice.
Right, and it's a beautiful setting. There's grass and trees. And
you got some sun since the last time I saw you at Pack Wrap.
I was in my friend's pool on Sunday. So.
Oh, I see. I see.
I wear sunblock, but the pool kind of washed it off.
Right. You got to get that waterproof stuff.
Right, exactly. I didn't do it. Shame on me.
Yeah. So, so you. Okay, so you're there, and but you did the whole thing. That's a long day, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a long day.
But 3 long days.
3 long days, yep. Yep.
You stay there when you do that?
Oh yeah, they get me a hotel room when I'm there.
And do most people, they have a lot of people coming in, participating in that. So is there a crossover? You mentioned the Bishop, and then you mentioned the Kernville. Is there a crossover between
Yeah, some
where
of the
people
same exhibitors,
will
do both.
participate in
They're
both?
chasing points. So
Oh.
this is sanctioned by the American Mule Association.
I see.
And they have an awards program. So you have to meet certain criteria to be an AMA approved show. So one of them being you have to have an AMA approved judge.
What's AMA here?
American Mule Association.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't the American Medical
No,
Association.
AMA,
Okay.
so American
Okay.
Mule Association.
Oh, well, all right.
Right. So
All right.
so people, if they're needing points and they're chasing points, they're going to look for shows to go to. And so this one is pretty close after Mule Days in Bishop. So some people, are still kind of geared up and, ready and prepped. So they take a week off and then they come to the Kernville show.
Oh, I see.
She gives away a saddle for the High Point Mule.
Oh.
Right, overall High
these
Point.
are some nice prizes.
Yeah, and she gave away beautiful director's chairs for the overall High Point in
Oh.
each division, and then there was a reserve High Point, and then she has some fun awards too. I can't say one of them because
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Do they give away cash prizes as well?
there was one class that was called the jackpot class. That was
Uh-huh.
the I believe it was called the Jake's Place Speed Barrels.
Uh-huh.
So there's money, it's divvied out. I don't know, 40, 30, 20, something like that. I don't remember how far it went
Okay.
down. 40, 30, 20, 10 maybe. So like
Dollars?
the percentage of the pot. So it's just going
Oh,
to depend
I
on how
see.
many people enter it.
Okay,
And she's smart
gotcha.
because she makes that a mandatory class in order to be eligible for
Mm-hmm.
any of the overall awards. So it.
How long have you judged these events? Or is this
Well, I just recently got my card. I just finished doing my certification. So it's been about a
okay.
year. Stacy had asked me a year ago if I would judge the show this year.
Oh, okay. So now you've been saying she, and so I wondered who's she is now. Stacy. Is
Stacy
she
Van Rensselaer. She is the manager of Jake's Place.
Jake's Place?
Correct, yeah. So
Is this where the arena is?
that's
as
correct.
Well?
Jake's Place Arena in Kernville.
Okay.
Mhm,
All
yeah.
right.
So she asked
What's
me
her
last
last
year.
name again?
Van Rensselaer.
Oh, Van Winsler. All right.
Rensselaer with an R. Rensselaer.
Winsler.
Yeah.
Oh, Rinsler with an
Rensselaer.
R.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So last year, I actually apprentice judged that show with a friend
Oh.
of mine, Judy Wright, who I used to show with all the time. We've been to the U.S. Nationals for the Arabians and a lot of the regional shows together. So it was kind of
Where's
like old
that?
home week. Oh, they're all over.
Sure.
The U.S. Nationals is in Albuquerque. It used to be in Louisville.
Okay.
Now it's in Oklahoma City. So don't have it in Louisville anymore, which is a shame because there was a really cool charm to it there. But anyway.
Yes, yes.
And then the regionals are all over, whichever region you're in, Region 1, Region 2, Region 3, Region 7. So it's, up and down California, and also in Reno. Region 7 is in Reno, Nevada.
Do people take their points with them, or can they accumulate their points?
Yeah,
or-
it's accumulated, and like when you're going, so we're getting off the mule thing, but when you're going to
Yeah.
go to the nationals for the Arabians, you have to qualify. So if you are a champion, a reserve, or a top 5 at a regional show, you are qualified in that class to go to the national championships. So.
But these also have points. You said they accumulated, so there's a reason for
Yeah,
that.
American Mule Association, because they have a year-end awards program. So at the end of
Okay.
the year, they give away prizes to the top animals
I see.
and riders
And-
in each division.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do people keep their mules and donkeys, or do
Oh,
they
yeah,
sell
lifelong.
them? Okay, it's
a lot of them are
lifelong.
lifelong. You'll
friend.
see. I know. I have friends that live in Bishop. Linda Laird is a trainer up there, and so there's a gal that is. I want to say in the Wrightwood area. Anyway, she has leased animals to her for some of her students, but the mules are 17, 18 years old. So, but now when they're done, then they go back to that owner. So
I see.
it's kind of like share and share alike. So some of the kids, our youth, can get started on some very nice, broke, awesome animals and get started, and eventually, hopefully, buy their own mule. So, but they become lifelong friends. The mules do with their owners.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, that mule or donkey, excuse me, Smoke the donkey
Yeah.
that they brought from. They ended up bringing that donkey
Back
from
home, yeah,
Iraq
that's
back to the
neat.
United States because
great.
they needed.
Sure. Well,
Smoke.
yeah. you know, sometimes that's great for like the PTSD and that kind of stuff, the
Right.
stress relief of having an
Right.
animal around, and
Right.
you know, and so separation would have been terrible. So it's really awesome we got to come home.
Now, do you have mules and donkeys at CNC
I
Stables?
don't now. I had
I
a
didn't think
beautiful
so.
mule, and
Oh, okay.
it'll be 2 years in August that she had developed a rare form of cancer,
Oh, I'm
and I had to
sorry.
put her down. So she's buried at the house, and I'm looking,
Oh.
but I am going to be very picky. Like I was
Sure.
just up at Bishop Mule Days for
Sure.
4 days, and I saw hundreds, literally hundreds of animals, and I saw a few that I kind of liked that may possibly be for
You
sale.
wanted to take me home.
Yeah, you know, I just want that spark, you know,
Right,
with
yes.
the animal that I had, and I've
Sure.
got several of them at the house that they picked me.
Oh.
So I just haven't
Yeah.
found the right one yet.
Right.
So it'll come.
Right, sure.
So-
Well, we're getting ready to take a break, so we'll come right back and talk some more about the Mule and Donkey Days.
Awesome.
Thank
Okay.
you. Welcome back to Ridgecrest Talk with our guest Candy Coffey from CNC Stables and judge at the Jacob's Place, or actually it's the Kernville Mule and Donkey Days, but it took place at Jake's Place Arena, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So then, so you were just telling us a little bit how you have just been you just completed, or you're just about to complete
No, I'm
this.
done.
You're
Yeah.
done with
Yeah.
the
I'm a
program to be credited for judging these
Correct.
events.
I have my AMA judges card now.
Oh,
Yes.
congratulations!
Well, thank you.
Yeah, that's
It's
neat.
a year-long adventure.
Yeah, and it makes it a lot of fun to complement what you're doing at your stables.
Oh, absolutely.
So you always have things going on there, and so then, who offers these credited programs? Oh, you said that's the American Mule Association.
Yes, there are other breed organizations,
Okay.
and now it'll be much easier for me to get accreditation in some of the other breeds if I want, because I already hold the card.
Uh-huh.
So, but there's the Quarter Horse Association, Paint
Oh,
Horse,
okay.
you know, yeah, Pinto.
Do you have some of those as
I
well?
don't. This
to
is
judge?
the first one that I've done, and
That's very neat.
yeah, I was Stacy. I have to thank Stacy because she's the one that kind of prompted me to do this.
Uh-huh.
And then Judy Wright, who I apprentice judge with last year, was really encouraging, saying, "Do it. You know, you'll enjoy it, and you know, it's a good extra income. You know,
Yes.
and you get to, you know, you're learning
okay.
things, and you get to see, you know, when you go, you get to see the trends and the changes, and
It is kind of perfect
So-
because you have your CNC stables, and I know you do different events and things like that.
Right.
You've got something going on now that we just mentioned. What
it's called the Summer Kids Camp.
Summer Kids Camp.
Right, yeah. We
okay.
have 12 little guys that are out, and well, they're anywhere from 5.5 to 14, I think, is the
Oh,
oldest
okay.
one.
Just
They're-
guys, or
Oh no, there's
Oh.
2 young men that are
Okay.
riding, and the rest are girls.
I
But I
see.
do have a couple of young men. They're twins, and they're helping. So I have a lot of my students that ride with me regularly and own horses and board horses at my facility, or just ride with me, and they're out kind of mentoring these other youth that are just starting. So it's a great thing for you know, on both ends.
Yes,
Yeah, so-
yes. And but I did want to ask you about, because you let the cat out of the bag, that you were completing a certification for the therapy.
Right, for PATH,
PATH.
which it stands for Professional Association for Therapeutic Horsemanship.
Therapeutic horsemanship.
Correct. So it used to be
That's
NARA,
neat.
and now it's called PATH. So I have finished all of my written tests, and now I'm on to 25 hours of mentoring under a certified instructor, which is, I have to travel for that, because of course there's nobody in this area that does it.
Okay.
So I'm going to go to Bishop. They have a facility up there called Freedom in Motion, and Carol Archuleta runs that up there, and I'm going to contact her, and I'm going to go up there, and I have to teach under her.
Okay.
So
many hours.
25 hours
25
of teaching.
hours.
And then I'll be certified to do this therapeutic horsemanship through.
Boy, that's neat.
Yes,
Because I've
yeah.
heard of different ranches where I think the first one I heard about was in Kentucky, and it was actually I think it was just a farm.
Yeah.
And they had a horse, and they knew someone who had like post-traumatic stress syndrome, and they, I don't know if it was just by accident that they had this person over or if it was deliberate, but they came over and they found the horse was just so therapeutic.
Absolutely.
For this person. And just going up to the BLM corrals up there, I found it there. I think it's
there's
therapeutic.
Some inner peace that comes from it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing better for the inside of a person than the outside of a horse. Yeah, I say that. So, you know, they're unconditional love, you know, and it's like it's amazing when you see them with people who have disabilities, whether they're mental or physical, they kind of know, and they kind of connect with those individuals.
Right.
So it's a pretty amazing thing to see. Yeah.
Did you see some amazing things like that when you were at the event this? Well, it wasn't this past weekend. It was 2 weekends ago, wasn't it? The Mule and Donkey Days.
Yeah. Well, there weren't anybody with. I mean, these people are bonded to their animals.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, you could tell when they're, you know, asking them to do things. There was one gentleman who had the mule that actually won the overall high point. We had we call it the Joker's Wild Jump, and it was bales of hay that were stacked up. And this little mule, and you know, this guy really had never done this before ever. And his wife is coaching him from the outside because it was one mule, one rider team. So as he's going up to this thing and he's kind of jostling around, and he points that mule at that, you know, at that jump, and that thing just jumped it no problem, you know. It was like, I'll take care of you, Dad, just hold on.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, you know, I mean, they if you make a friend with your mule or your donkey, it's a connection for life. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's, well, that's kind of astonishing that a mule, because bales of hay are pretty, you know, it's pretty big.
Oh, yeah, and they were stacked
big.
up. I think the jump was probably 3 feet. So that's, you know, pretty good size.
That is pretty good size.
Yeah.
That is pretty good size.
Yeah.
To clear it.
And it was solid. It wasn't like, you know, where you have the post and rails. You know, there's a little bit of, you know, daylight area between there. This thing was solid. So.
Well, you have to know if your animal's going to do that or not.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You have a lot of trust there, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because they could really get hurt.
Oh, yeah, they put the brakes on, and then you go over the jump and they don't. And I've been there before. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, right. I've heard some stories, about the animals putting the brakes on. At least they know.
That's
they go,
right.
you know, what do you think I am,
I'm not taking this. That's not in my contract.
That's very funny. So, but that has to, boy, that smarts.
Oh, yeah. They're not the sharpest tools in the shed, but they're a lot smarter than we give them credit for.
That'll wake you up real fast.
Exactly.
Like, oh, hello.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, you didn't want to do that, I take it. Yeah.
That's funny.
You take it, I'm not.
So, well, when you get that hurdle completed with completing that path certification, we'll have to have you back when you get to, so you can tell us what you're going to be doing with that. I'll
when
really
I get the
look
program
forward
developed.
to that.
Yeah.
So, but this Mule and Donkey Days is only once a year then? It's
correct.
Only annual?
It's an annual event, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So then if somebody wants to get involved next year, they should be getting started then.
Absolutely, yeah. And they do have a website. Jake's Place has a website.
Well, and maybe before we go, can you give that website, or what is it? Just Jake's Place? Or?
Yeah.
They can Google it.
Right, if you Google Jake's Place Kernville, it will come up, yeah.
Yes.
So, and Stacy and Richard, who actually owns the property, have, you know, all the different upcoming, there's horse shows that'll be coming up in September and October.
Okay.
She has a Tough Enough to Wear pink show in October that they always raise funds for an individual in the area that is battling cancer.
Okay.
So that's a really good, you can make donations, or you can come show, or you can just come and, you know, observe if you want to, be a spectator. So.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming and joining me today to tell us about the Mule and Donkey Days.
Well, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.